Hello, Elizabeth. My name is Belen Gonzalez, and I don't think we've interacted in post before, but I'm actually familiar with this assessment tool that you picked, this Michigan Alcoholism Screening Test. I have utilized it also with my clients. And I do agree with you with the strengths, the fact that it can be used for adolescents and adults. And I think it's so helpful that they have an like a tailored assessment for their geriatric population. And so because symptoms may look different for older adults, I like that we also have the ability of utilizing a more specific tool for them. Um, I also think that it is the fact that the answers are like yes and no, and they're not necessarily measured, and the questions are so direct, so concrete. I think that it is also a very good therapeutic tool to begin kind of building rapport around these questions, and also to build some self-awareness about the severity of the behaviors that have been developed around the use of alcohol. And so I think that when clients are taking this assessment and they're, writing yes and like acquiring those ones, it's kind of hard to refute that there is an issue with alcoholism because of the specific questions and how they're framed. And the last thing I want to touch on is the fact that it's not like time specific, like you said. So it's just kind of measuring like lifetime, as opposed to um, within the last 2 weeks, within the last 2 months, within the last 6 months. And so we have other assessments that are very specific about time. One of the ways that I move beyond that barrier is that I will propose a frame of time before I start asking the questions. And so if I'm really concerned about what their um, alcohol use has looked like within the last 2 months, then I'll say that before I start the assessment. I'll say within the last 2 months, blah, 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 blah. And I'll start asking my questions. So I feel like that's a very simple way that we can kind of like overcome that barrier to being able to measure like a specific timeline for the purpose of diagnostic and treatment.